discover this was stolen then once you went home?
I called BMW just now to ask them why the old reg wasn't showing up on DVLA's website. And they confirmed that it's an active registration, but they've had to pull it because it's a stolen car. What would normally happen next, by the way?
So, in this situation, the car would get seized and given to the original owner.
Story time with more hair. Right, it's a couple of months ago now, I was hunting around for a nice little project car. Something interesting after the Golf had left. I've always wanted a 6 Series, but I've never been quite sure which one to go for. So you've got the 630i, which has a straight 6 with 270 something horsepower and does 0 to 60 the same time as the 330 Ci. Completely, utterly pointless car. Why would you do it? Apparently it gets 30 miles to gallon. Who cares? You've then got a couple of diesels. Yep, don't need to say anything about that. 645 is a pretty good car actually. You've got the same sort of power as an E46 M3, maybe slightly under. Yeah, the body weighs a couple 100 kilos more, but you know, it's a luxury Grand Tourer. So you can pick those up for about 3 to 6 grand depending on the condition of them, except I found one for 2.5? Basically it was about 2.5 grand and it was right around the corner. So I messaged the guy, no response. I called him and he said, I will not drive to your house even though you only live 3 miles away. Okay, thanks very much, mate. No problem at all. I'll take my mum's car, I'll drive down and I'll see you. And when I arrived, something didn't add up. So he hadn't given me his address, but he told me what road he lives on and then said he lived in a block of flats. At this point I should have gotten in my car and driven off. But what I did is I hung around and, the important point is, there's no flats on the roads, so what? So I gave him a call and said, I can't find a flat on the road, I don't know where to be, you know, can you give me some sort of heads up, some sort of ETA, what shall I be doing? He goes, no, I live on a flat just off this road, I'll meet you on that road in a second, I'm coming now. So dude came down and he told me a few confusing things about the car. He told me there isn't any scratches on it, and there were scratches all over it. He told me the engine was not fucked, and it was, well, fucked. There was oil spewing everywhere. The tyres were all bald on it. But there was something to it. It had some sort of charm on it. Everything, all the electrics seemed to work pretty well. It had decent spec on it, even though the paint was flat. I thought, you know, it'll get me around, but there was some sort of overruling feeling. Always go with your gut instinct. Never fight it. So I told him I wasn't going to buy it. I said I don't really want it. At this point it was 2,200 and I said it's just in too rough of a condition for it. It'll cost me too much money. And he said 2 grand. So I rang my mate and I told him all the spec of the car and everything, and I was so distracted by the spec of the car, by the condition of the car, that just all sense went out the window. And when my mate said, you know, sounds like a good deal, I handed over the cash. And after I handed over the cash, I opened up the boot, said, is there anything you need from the car? The guy's like, no, I have everything. And I thought that was quite strange. Why would you have everything? He then shows me the logbook, which is in an address in South London somewhere, but has his name on it. I don't ask him to identify himself, so I know that's the correct name. That was stupid of me as well. There are loads of problems all over this. I've bought and sold 25 cars, and yet I end up with this absolute piece of shit. So he pulls the number plates out the back of the car, like from the boot, and sticks them by the side of the road. And I said, why have you got those? And he went, well, you know, it was a private number plate thing. But when I applied to the DVLA for the reg back, they gave me the reg that's on the car, not the reg that's on these number plates. Yeah. Anyway, I went home, and being the sort of geek I am, I decided to go online and check up the VIN number to see the spec on the car. And that's where I saw listed cream leather seats. Okay, that's interesting. Something doesn't match. So I'd left my mum's car by the side of the road, and I thought, I wonder if the number plates, which the guy had pulled out the boot of the car, and he just dropped them by the side of the road on the street corner. So wondering if they're still there. So I decided to go and pick them up and call BMW the next day. Said, look guys, this is the situation. You know, I found these number plates by the side of the road. I think they correspond to my car. I was able to find the VIN somewhere. I think that's it. It gets even better, doesn't it? It was scratched out on the top of the turret. That filled in with black, so you couldn't even see there was a VIN there. Well, I couldn't, not at night. Never buy a car at dark. Never do anything that I do. So yeah, back to the story. I was on the phone to BMW, to one of their dealerships, and they'd said to me, look mate, I'm sorry, but we can't find any record of your car at all. Called me back 5 minutes later, it's stolen. We suggest you speak to the police. So I did, and they just came and took it. They said this car's been stolen from somebody else. They've cloned the VIN number, they've cloned the V5, the logbook off somebody else. In the end, it cost me, £2,000, which I lost, and I then just decided that owning a regular 6 Series wasn't for me. So, anyway, look, there's some footage. It's official. Some things really are too good to be true. This is a look at the thing after I've given it a bit of a bath. Suspiciously, while I was cleaning it, the plates became loose. The front one fell off entirely. So when I called the BMW dealership, and I said to them, I asked them, is this the correct number plate? Well, I took this rear one off and readied these to go back on the car, but as it stands, I probably shouldn't touch it too much. The police are going to impound it and do an investigation on it. I'm just wondering if there is any evidence of who used to own this thing. So it doesn't look like it's been very well looked after in terms of like cleaning it up and making it look good. That battery's recently been taken out, probably charged. That's why as a result this car now won't start. One spacer. No evidence at all. I don't really know. This whole thing might have been an insurance claim anyway. There you go. Don't really know what to do about this. One thing for sure, it has solidified my choice in vehicle. I'm just like, I was unsure if the 6 Series was what to go for. And maybe it's part of that, you know, you always kind of intrinsically want what you can't have, but I really want this car now. Or at least one that's got like an MOT and is running and stuff. Hey, maybe it does have an MOT. But I was always quite suspicious at just how Spartan this cabin was. Absolutely no documentation, nothing left anywhere. At this point I'm just looking to see if there's anything that will point me in the direction of the owner so I can contact them. Because what I want to do is I want to say, look, your car's been nicked or whatever, something's happened, leave a little note in there and just be like, get in touch if you want to sell it back to me. So unfortunately it looks like it's going to be impounded by the police, and that's the end of it. £2,000 down the hole. All in all, I must recommend not buying the cheapest BMW 6 Series because you'll end up with no BMW 6 Series. These must. These are bits I found in the car. Just gonna leave them in there. Let's see what happens next. Oh yeah, this is fun. These are the VIN numbers that I found. Well, actually, I scooped them out. So this here is the original VIN. And these things were both stored in there. I reckon what happened is they chucked this one in there and it fell down too much, so I put that one in there, realised it's a bit higher. It's done reasonably well, but the quality of it was what stood out to me. Anyway. On the upside there, if I monetize this video and it gets 2 million views, and it might pay me back for the car. For now, the dream is over. Fucking cows. Anyway, hi. You're back here. So where was I? I was telling you how buying a regular 6 Series probably wasn't something that was good for me. So I decided to buy